All right, here's a watch list video for Thursday, February 11th. Looking at this buy, you can see we opened, gapped up a bit, rallied, and ended up closing down at the lows. So you still got that fear out there in the market. 184.71 is actually where it's trading in after hours right now. Some interesting stuff going on. You just got to pick and choose. You just got to pick and choose, find some setups, stick and move, if you will. Get in, get out. If you're a day trader like me, make your money for the day, and then just let things settle and start all over again tomorrow. And it's a pretty good market for that, actually. So, but there's a lot of interesting stuff going on. Look at Tesla after hours, closed at 143.67 in after hours, which I'll put that on there for you real quick. You can see what it did. It tanked all the way down to probably 135, and then ripped to almost 165. Yeah, pretty much 165, and right now currently trading at 157.20. So that should be interesting tomorrow. But that one wasn't on my list. Let's start with my list here. Let's see, NAT. NAT I had because of this big spike here. Remember, I like to focus on recent high relative volume movers. All right, so that's my whole thing. And when I say recent, I really mean in the last few days. And then I'm looking for a good trade in some of these tomorrow, and then I'll be in cash before they close. Usually make my daily goal if I'm going to trade right in the first 90 minutes of the day, and then I can relax. So NAT had this really big volume move, and now we're 2 days lower. All right, so I want to watch that one for a potential bounce back up. NYMX. If I wasn't trading every day, I probably wouldn't have even made my watch list. But when you go to like 15-minute candles here, then you can see what a big move this made. This would have been yesterday, and then today bleeding a little bit lower again. So this is, again, this probably wouldn't even caught my attention, but this thing at times can make really big moves. So you just had a kind of a quiet inside day, so I'm looking for a potential bounce back up in NYMX tomorrow. Remember, this is only going to be, with the market in my favor, or at least not against me. So that's important to know. So I don't know how these are going to open or how the market's going to open tomorrow. Chicago Bridge and Iron, CBI, excuse me, all the way back in, looks like probably January of 2015. This thing went down to about 32. And then it hit 32 again in the middle of January, and now it's fallen pretty quickly to get back there again. So if we get below 32, I'm actually going to be looking for an intraday turn back up for a bounce play, just for a trade. That's CBI. It's getting kind of ahead of itself to the downside. So whenever I have a stock that's fallen pretty fast, getting to recent lows, I like to see it flush below those recent lows and then give me a nice turn back up. Monsanto, MON. Another one, 4 days down in a row, pretty much right down to recent support. So that one's potential bounce. SIEN. You had the gap up on good news 3 sessions ago, and it's all the way down, even past or right around a gap fill there, and it's near the 20-day. Some great support around, probably see the lows right around $8. Some great support right there. So I'm watching this one for a potential bounce back up now. It's SIEN, Viacom, VIAB, straight down for 5 days. I think that one's getting ahead of itself, just looking for an oversold bounce. FDC, kind of the same thing. This one's getting really fast to the downside, looking for an oversold bounce. Solar City, which I actually made a little over $500 in the first 4 minutes of the day trading this one. It ended up closing at its lows though, but again, I'm a trader, so I had a nice quick trade in it, and actually never went back to it. But this doesn't look bullish by any stretch, but Solar City was just a couple months ago almost $60, and now it's down in the teens. I think this is a candidate, maybe not tomorrow, might be in a couple days. I think this is a candidate for a high of day break sometime during the day. Could give you a little pop for a trade, and if I can make 20, 30, 40 cents on a $18 stock, and I've got good size, I can make a day or a week's worth of wages. So it doesn't cost me anything to have it on a chart. BECN just goes back on bounce watch. No trades today. Kind of found some equilibrium today, closing about where it opened. Going to watch that one for a bounce tomorrow. Didn't give any kind of setup today. Was already on my bounce playlist for today though. Momo, M-O-M-O, same thing. Looking for an oversold bounce. Didn't give a trigger today. Lumber Liquidators, LL. I'll zoom in a little bit here. Again, this wouldn't have caught my attention if I wasn't a trader and didn't see that it had this big 500,000 share spike all the way up to 13 bucks from starting close to 12, and then it gave kind of a secondary lower high and then tapered off the rest of the day. Let me go to 60-minute candles here. So wasn't that long ago, about a little over a week ago, we had this monster spike. It's got great support at 12 now. So I'm watching this one for potential long. Maybe come up and retest this 15 area one of these days. That one's interesting. LL, and then Weight Watchers, WTW. It's nothing that special here, but again, when you go to intraday candles, you can see a really nice move in WTW, which would have been yesterday right out of the gate. And then today, just kind of a quiet inside day. So a lot of times these inside days, the third day, they can rip again. So I'm going to have WTW on watch. And then also, we'll scan for gappers in the morning and hopefully find some trades in some gappers as well. But that's the list I'm starting with, and we'll have the gappers and see what happens tomorrow. All right, have a good night. Talk to you tomorrow.